Hi, welcome to the Nursing Dose with your host, Farah, aka Dr. Laurent, aka Nurse Career Coach, the host of the Nurses Making Money Moves Conference. Today, I have a very special guest. I have Nurse Alice, America's favorite nurse. Thank you so much for joining us. She has a special announcement that she'll be announcing very soon. So, you guys are going to be the first to hear it. I'm so excited. And she's going to be speaking at the conference. So, you need to get your tickets like literally now. So, Alice, thank you so much for joining us. If you want to introduce yourself, say hi to all the peeps.
Well, thank you so much for having me. I know we go back, so thank you. But for those who may not know who I am, I'm Alice Benjamin. I'm a family nurse practitioner, clinical nurse specialist, and a TV medical correspondent, and just someone who's very, very passionate about nursing and in a very unique lane have been able to take my nursing experience and translate that into media, which is very important when we're trying to influence change, whether it's policy, whether it's raise awareness to an important issue, or whether it's for selling your products or services. So that's me. I don't
Yeah,
know.
and a former ER nurse. This is not, because we vibe
Oh,
that
okay.
way.
Well, let me also do that before because I know my experience, but I've always done critical care, emergency room, very much in the hospital. Was even at one point a patient safety manager for a large tertiary academic center.
Yeah.
It did everything that I could under the sun at the bedside, and now have taken my nursing powers and have translated them in other areas. And I think as people proceed through their nursing career, you'll find that
Yeah.
you'll start doing one thing, and then when you learn and master that and move forward, you'll see how your skills and capabilities grow. And then when you can do that and then marry that with your passion, that's when you really won. So I'm operating in my true passion right now, which I just thoroughly love. I really, really love it.
That
So
is awesome. And honestly, if you guys don't know, like Nurse Alice is the real deal. Like she has built, we talk about personal branding all the time, and this conference is going to be really centered around personal branding for professional growth and business growth for nurses. But there's also going to be other female professionals because we need to learn from other females that are experts in their industry as well. But she has built such an awesome brand, America's favorite nurse on Dr. Oz. Like, Google her. Okay.
but when I hear that, I always chuckle because I really never set out to do that. It's
Yes.
just I found my passion, I found my niche, and then I just ran with it because,
Mm-hmm.
you know, from with the whole Dr. Oz thing and the television stuff, I really, as a nurse, was just very, very passionate about cardiovascular disease because
Yeah.
my dad's experience, he's why I became a nurse. And I just went hard in the paint. Like I wanted to know everything
Yes.
about cardiovascular health and things like that so I can educate people beyond the bedside. Because, I love the hospital. I know that that's a necessary place for nurses to be. However, I think there's a season for everything. So, I still very much am connected to the hospital, do still work there in the hospital, but I've ventured out to do other things. So, and I think it's important for nurses to hear that that's okay. That's
Yes.
okay to do. You're still a nurse and to follow your passions. Nurses can and are entrepreneurs.
Yeah.
Um, and just to follow that, because from, critical care emergency room nurse to founder of AskNurseAlice.com, a trusted health platform, to founder of MediaRx, multimedia production company and PR services, to medical correspondent. Like those aren't traditional things you think of in nursing, but why not? Why not?
Exactly. Why not?
And and in this journey, I always, I know that there are wonderful nurses out there. There's always several. And so when people say, "Oh, America's favorite nurse," it's because I was one of the first, maybe the most prominent nurse that was out there on television. So that's how I became favorite. So I don't want anybody to think that, oh, Nurse Alice is big headed. No, that the people have spoken, and
No,
that's what
listen,
they said. And Dr. Oz said it too.
it
So
doesn't matter. You can say it yourself. It's all
yeah,
about self promotion. And this is why I've created this platform to really also spread the message to nurses. It's okay to brag about yourself.
it is.
You have a lot of receipts, so let's show the receipts. So don't be shy, okay? And when you come to the Nurses Making Moves, Money Moves conference, you're going to hear Alice talk about her journey, talk about how you can be more visible in the nursing industry, whether it's to grow your career or whether it's to start your own business or grow your business, whatever that is, or if you want to educate the public and be in the media, she's going to share all the, the trips, the tips and tricks, and give you all the knowledge for that,
Yeah, and
because she's been a pioneer. Yeah.
right. And I also want to say, I think as nurses, we have been groomed to take care of others, put others first. We're working for the patient. So I think we leave ourselves behind, which is why many nurses struggle with the identity of being entrepreneurs, that it's okay to make money. It's not being selfish. It's, just as healthcare is arguably the largest business out there. And so, and, we've seen a lot, pharmaceuticals, equipment,
Mm-hmm.
services, and nurses were rolled up in the room rate. So, obviously APRNs have changed that landscape. Things are moving, and, stuff is they're shaking that up a little bit. But I also feel that nurses, while that's a big part of our identity, I'm also a mom. I'm also a future wife. I'm also an entrepreneur. I'm also all of these other things. So it's okay to want to do that. Listen, if you are a nurse and you like to bake and you want to make healthy cakes or whatever, however you want to brand it, go ahead and do that. It's okay. You're still a nurse. You are still a nurse. And I just want nurses to know that, because I struggled for a long time. And part of it is because I wasn't well received from the nursing profession when I started to do media. I was asked, do you want to be a model? Are you trying to be an actress? Well, thank you saying that I'm cute, but that wasn't, that wasn't my primary reason for doing that.
Haters.
I know I'm easy on the eyes, which is great, helpful, but I was there to be as a health expert and to service the community, just like we teach patients and families at the bedside. I learned how to optimize media as a platform to make my voice louder so it can be heard by more people and can go further. And then, it can be heard over and over again, or can be read online. And so we see a lot of doctors and physicians do that, but we weren't seeing nurses. So I went with it. And that's how I came to be where I'm at today, which I'm very, very thankful for. And media is kind of like it's like it's a specialty. Just like oncology, you have emergency room, and it's an untapped specialty. I feel like nurses, entrepreneurs, professional nursing organizations, we all need to get on this train. The train has left the station. And if you don't optimize using media to amplify your voice, whether it's for a mission, a movement, a service, a product, or whatever, you're not going to be heard and you're going to get left behind. And we can't be the best kept secret out there.
Yeah. And I think we have a lot in common in terms of, wanting to empower nurses, to really show them that there's so many opportunities for them out there. And this is why I'm so excited that you're going to be speaking at the Nurses Making Money Moves conference. So let's talk about that a little bit.
Yeah.
I'm so excited. I literally just decided the beginning of December. I was like, let me throw this conference. I've been thinking about it for a while. And I know we had some early conversations about it, because I really want a safe space for nurses to really interact, to network, and a place where there's no gatekeeping. A lot of places you go to the conference, it's a lot of kind of fluff information, and they don't get a lot of value out of it. But this is going to be different, because I want experts in the industry like yourself and all these other speakers, both nursing and non-nursing, to talk about how to grow professionally, how to make more money, how to start a business, how to grow your business, and really be real with what it takes, being on social media, networking, shaking hands, kissing babies, you gotta be out there.
All those things. And I want to say that with the work that I've done, media is a platform to get information out to the masses. And I don't think, and as nurses, we're not, obviously we're in the business of healthcare and taking care of people. We don't necessarily have an MBA or a marketing degree or any of those things. Now, I know some of our nurses have gone on to leadership. But I'm actually going to challenge that to say you've been taught a one lens of it, because if nursing was really aware of the potential and the opportunities that were in media, we would have been doing a lot more a lot sooner. And because I want people to understand, like, when you watch commercials, you hear them on, you hear commercials on your podcast, radio, you see advertisements. It's marketing. It's raising awareness to the products, the services, and the brand. Businesses need to do that in order to lead generate to get customers and clients so then they can make money and then they can reinvest and do all this over and scale up. So we don't think of it that way. And I think now that nurses have embraced media, it's more about, advocating for patients, advocating for practice and policy, important things. But at the end of the day, we do need money to reinvest into these services. We do need, many organizations and businesses are trying to make money, trying to make a living out of this. So you need to market. So rather than just going out and buying and paying for advertisement, why not position yourself as a content expert? Now, be genuine. Don't be fake or phony. If you're going to, whatever you're going to talk about, be about it. So like me, I talk about, like the other day, and thank you to my NBC family who might be tuning in. I literally did 3 NBC hits in one day. It was like 11, 3, and 5, and it all came like last minute. It was about whooping cough, it was about silent COVID, and it was about what was the other topic? I'm going blank on it. I forget, but it was raising awareness. So I was using my expertise as a advanced practice nurse to the community, but that's my platform. That's what I do. I like to talk to people before they become my patients. So while I am a paid contributor for NBC, so there's that wonderful opportunity, but then it raises awareness about nurses, about the profession of nursing. Oh, wow, nurses are knowledgeable. Nurses can do this. So it's good for the profession. It's good for the community because I'm providing public service and helping health consumers make informed decisions. And then it's also good for Alice Benjamin. So should other opportunities and people are like, oh, we need someone to do this, we need someone to do that, then they can tap on me for maybe speaking opportunities to come speak at their school, their church, whatever the case may be. But you see, that's a form of marketing. And so I wouldn't have enough money to pay for a television ad. But
this is the thing. It's like you've built this personal brand. And I don't think like a lot of nurses understand personal branding and why it's important to build a personal brand, whether you're just at the bedside or in leadership or education or wanting to start a business. It's not just for people in business. Right. And nurses need to understand you are a brand, whether you know it or not. You are already a brand. Like people perceive you a certain way. And like you said, once you build this brand, you're intentional about building it and how you show up, both in person, events, in media, whatever it is, it can give you, opportunities. Like for me, I probably need to leverage it a little bit more, but I was on the Jennifer Hudson show. Like people are asking me like, how did you get on there? I was like, I've been working, being on podcasts, writing articles, like being visible. So these are the things that you're going to learn when you go to the Nurses Making Money Moves conference. Tickets are on sale. I'm going to drop the early bird link later, but tell them why they should come to the conference in Tampa, in sunny Tampa, March 8th.
Because there's going to be such an A-lister team of women entrepreneurs, nurses who are going to help guide you through your personal journey of how to make money moves as a nurse. Something that's not taught in school. There's not an elective you can take on that. These are all in-depth, real-life, personal learnings from these different people who are sharing it all in this one place. The things that I've gone through, my journey, it definitely is not in anybody's book. And while I love my researchers and philosophers and academics, it's not in anybody's research paper. It's not in any theoretical framework from any philosopher. This is the Nurse Alice Benjamin, real deal, Holyfield, real life experience. I'm going to share from my successes to my failures and help you to avoid those things. So these are just very valuable lessons. And we got a whole host of speakers who are going to be there. I've kind of teased a little bit of what I'm bringing to the table, but also if I can go ahead and share, I will be bringing my book, which is Nurses in Media from Bedside to Broadcast, which actually talks a lot about my journey, provides some helpful tips along the way. And it's for nurse entrepreneurs, nurses who are just passionate about community education, nursing organizations and all of us who are passionate about making changes with health policy, raising awareness, and all of the many things that media can do for nurses who are underutilized while being the largest segment of the healthcare workforce. So
wait, tell them again. You just dropped it real quick.
Yeah. So
And this is she just announcing it here, like
yeah,
for the
this is
first time.
actually my first public announcement. So the book will be available. You will start to see pre-sale information as early as the end of January. But I will actually be bringing books to the event. It's called Nurses in Media: From Bedside to Broadcast by myself, and I trust, no, and believe there is no other book like this that can encompass nurses in media, journalism, your experience as a nurse, a little bit of business and health policy, all wrapped in one with a nice little cute bow.
With a bow. Oh my God.
So,
I'm so excited. And I feel so honored that
yeah.
you're announcing it here on the Nursing Dose with Farah. She's really dropping the tea, the gems.
Mhm.
This is why you need to come and get a personalized copy at the conference and Tampa March 8th. Nurses Making Money Moves conference. I'm so excited. Um, this book is going to be amazing. Like, you need to come get your copy in person.
Yes, in person. I will sign all the books. They'll be there. You know, I just can't wait because it is literally going to be the gem that, like, it holds the secrets to so many things that have been gate kept from nurses for so long. And it's not just, I'm not talking about it in theory. I'm not talking
Mhm.
about, this is actually a real deal. I've lived this life. I've fallen. I fell flat on my face several times. I don't want you to fall on your face. I want you to avoid the money pits, the embarrassment, any shame, and especially with professions. Because I'll say this: nursing is very conservative, and
Mm.
y'all know this. There are very strict media policy rules and regulations. Who can do what? Who can? I mean, and then even if you're active, if you're active on social media,
Yeah.
hospitals are now looking at that. Employers are looking at that as part of your application process. Now, I'm not saying that you can be reckless on social media and expect to not get in trouble at work, but there are some things that nurses are getting penalized and punished for that absolutely have nothing to do with the type and quality of nurse you are or the care that you provide or the
Mhm.
service you provide. And I also need healthcare organizations to wake up because nurses, we are the largest segment of the healthcare workforce. So why are we being penalized? Why are we being kind of gate kept? And why are there glass ceilings on us when we actually spend the most time with the patients, have some of the most intimate experiences with patients,
Mhm.
that we are under lock and key and can't do certain things? Says who?
Yeah, exactly. And this is what it is. Like,
Yeah.
this is why I preach all the time for nurses to build their own personal brand. And I think some organizations, it bothers them when you have your own personal brand, but we both know from past experience,
Oh yeah.
there is no job security, right? Like,
No.
I just wrote about this recently. I don't care how many degrees you have, certifications. I have a doctorate, I have 6 board certifications. They still let me go, okay, multiple times. And they don't care. So this is why it's important for you to build your personal brand and also, be aware of the things that you can and can't do, but what you're willing to compromise or not.
Mhm.
Um, but if you have a strong enough personal brand, you don't have to worry because you will generate income, whether you have a side hustle or your main business, or you'll be able to find other employment if you have a strong personal brand.
And let me throw this out there because Farah and I have similar stories. Again, I was patient safety manager of a large tertiary academic center, a
Yeah.
hospital that does most heart transplants in the world, and I was motivated and climbed that spot and earned that spot with the inspiration from my dad. My dad died of sudden cardiac arrest, and so heart disease. So I become this patient
Mhm.
safety manager of this large hospital that does all these things: clinical, critical care, cardiovascular, ICU, blah blah blah. I've done it all. I earned it. I earned every single stripe. But
Yeah.
I found myself in an organization who felt challenged by my brand and awareness. And I remember we had a conversation. They're like, and I said, well, I don't know if I want to be branded as the nurse that works at X. And they're like, brand? What do you mean you're a brand? And mind you, this was,
A
I have,
while back.
yeah, it was a while ago, maybe like almost 9 years ago now. But that goes to show you that you will reach a point where, I mean, anywhere you go, you learn something, you master it, you excel, and you get to the top and you're ready for next level. You're ready to level up. But some people aren't ready to level up. They want to keep you where you are. They need bedside nurses. They need people in these positions to operate. But I had to challenge myself. I either had to remove my media identity in totality, or take a chance on myself. And I'll say I did more media I left the organization. In the next 5 months from after leaving, I did more television those first 5 months than I had done my whole 5 years with the organization. I took a bet on myself and I'm winning.
Yes.
So don't be afraid
Oh
of
my God.
power.
I love that. And I love that you shared that, because honestly, nurses, if you're watching right now, even if you don't come to the conference, but you need to come to the conference in Tampa, right? But it's all about mindset. And you need to move away from that scarcity mindset. People are so afraid to speak up, to lose their job, to do whatever. We are highly skilled professionals. You can work anywhere. Don't let these people and these organizations instill fear in you that you can't even speak, you can't move, you can't grow, and keeping you stuck, right? Because I always said it, I don't care. I will always stand in my values, my integrity. And if that means that I'm speaking up and I'm going to get fired, then so be it, because I can't rock with you if you're doing crazy stuff. I'm going to speak up.
Here's the thing, though. Are you operating in your authentic way, in your purpose, if you are restricted or feel like you're walking on eggshells at your job? Are you happy?
Yeah.
Now, I know people are like, well, I want to get paid. So that is that scarcity mindset. It's the security of knowing. Now, listen, we all want security. I want security too. I want to know I can pay my bills, take care of my family, and all of our health insurance, all the things. Absolutely. But at a certain point in your life, and everyone's for different, sometimes the value system will change. Because when I went to a nurse, I was like, oh, they pay me this, I'm gonna go work this shift. They pay me this, they pay me that. But at some point, I was like, my peace, my time, all those things matter more than just the paycheck. Now, I want the paycheck to come along with me, but you have to then step out and find and create those opportunities. Because I'll say this, the positions that I've found myself in as of most recently with organizations like nurse.com and previously nurse.org and other places, those positions didn't exist. But I took my passion, my skill set, and I was able to find myself in the nursing world with my media translation. And I'll say this, I was once told that, so I can't fully take credit for this, but wherever there are people, there are problems. Where there are problems, there needs to be a nurse. So just if you keep that in mind, you will learn that wherever you are, when you identify a problem, you can be the solution. Now, so, with your passion, with your skill set, be the solution to those problems, because I promise you're needed. I promise what you have to offer is needed.
Yeah. And so many transferable skills that you don't even have to be in a role that says nurse, right? Yeah. Like you said, there's policy with so many different areas of nursing. And this is kind of what this platform has been with podcasting and people like you speaking up on these things. And this is why I help these novice nurses get into whatever areas that they want to like shatter these old school nursing narratives, because we need to progress and move forward quickly, because nursing, like you said, has been very rigid for a long time. And we need to like be a little bit more flexible and adaptable. And this is why I think this conference, it's not just for new nurses or nurse practitioners or people with businesses. It's every nurse can come to learn about the importance of how to make more money, because we need to talk about money. Like it's a tool for us to live, to do things that we want. And it's okay. A lot of times there's a lot of taboo just in general about speaking about money, but especially for females, it's a way of creating financial freedom for our families and supporting our families. And this is why I wanted to do it Women's History Month, and actually falls on International Women's Day.
Let me also challenge you. So like for bedside nurses, and again, like you mentioned, like with women and things like that, but in the C-suite, in the business room, those VPs, they're talking money. They're talking revenue generating. They're talking about the bottom line. They're talking about going lean. They're talking about costs and, company growth. And I think that we don't use that type of language, but there are certain conversations that we have. It's the same thing. But this is why when people say, "Oh, I'm a small business owner," no, you own an enterprise. So I don't even refer myself to a small business anymore. Like I'm an enterprise. And so if we conducted ourselves in our own personal businesses the way that hospitals and major corporations do, then there wouldn't be an issue. You wouldn't settle for less. You would go higher and bigger for many things, but we don't, because that's not the mindset that we've been groomed to believe. We take care of patients. We do, like, we're givers. We're givers. And but really, nursing, we're all leaders. We're all leaders. Now it's time for us to step out into our respective lanes and lead, because there will be a generation. I know there's a nursing shortage, but there will be a generation of nurses that come after us. And the way that we use the number of nurses in our professions is also to demonstrate the capabilities and opportunities that nurses have in the workforce.
Yeah.
And it's not always going to be at the bedside. It's not always going to be in the hospital and the clinics. While a majority of us are needed there, there's a season for that. And as you step out in your own timing, just know and understand that you can still be a nurse outside of those hospital walls. And that's what my book goes over to, in Nurses in Media, from bedside to broadcast. So just wanted to link that.
Yeah. And when you have your pre-sale stuff, definitely share. And then also, yes, you're going to come in person downtown Tampa. It's going to be at the Museum of Art right on the Riverwalk. So you can get your book in person and meet Alice. And then we also have, I have a VIP option that's going to be on the Friday, March 7th. And it's only by invite only for ambitious nurses who are ready to take action, level up in 2025. To come to this dinner. You can meet all the speakers and myself, and it's going to be about 3.5 hours, rooftop bar, cocktails, dinner, and just message me if you're interested to come. I know you probably have to run soon, but anything else you want to talk about the conference, what you're excited about?
Well, I'm just really excited as we move into 2025. New mindset, new year, new mindset. And so I really want to encourage people to operate in their passion. Like, because at this stage in the game, my peace, my happiness is so much more valuable. Now I want to be able to provide and make money, and I want to live a soft life too, guys. But I also know that I want to fulfill my cup. So I'm encouraging everyone to come to the conference, allow this to be an opportunity to find your tribe, get inspired, and walk away with the essential tools and tips with how to move forward as a nurse and make money moves.
Yes. And, like you said, I think mindset and just taking action is very important. And I know that some nurses might be kind of on the fence about investing in coming to the conference, especially, there's a lot of nurses that already have gotten their tickets. They're coming from out of state, Washington, DC, New York, all these places. You're coming from California. What do you say to those nurses that are like, I don't know if I want to invest, and, blah, blah, blah.
To not invest would be probably the worst financial decision you can make, because where else, when then you find this information told, you're going to spend years. You're going to spend a year trying to piecemeal it together from your free YouTubes, from whatever books here or there. And I'll say this, as a new entrepreneur, or even as someone who maybe started, but you haven't jumped all the way and you call it your side gig, right? At some point, you're going to have to pivot and invest and believe in yourself. Because if you don't invest and believe in yourself, no one will. If you can invest and believe in yourself to invest in a conference, why should I buy your products and services? Because you don't even believe in yourself enough to invest in this, to better your business, to better, to level up. So, to be a boss, you got to think like a boss and act like a boss. So that's why you need to come to the conference.
Amazing.
And that's right off for your business, right? And also, let me say this, please make sure your business is formulated correctly. Please do. So get around a group of people, women, who are going to help you to make sure that you have these fundamental things in place so you actually can grow as a business.
Yeah, because, legally, you want to make sure everything is correct and in order, so that you don't get in legal trouble. And obviously, yes, investing is so important. And it's like, just like investing in your professional development, ACLS, blah, blah, blah. This is going to give you so much return on your investment. Like, literally one connection can change your whole career, can change your whole business. And then you're building relationships. Like you said, it's like you're going to meet your tribe over there. It's going to be your peeps. And we're going to have this every year. So you don't want to miss it. And again, I'm so happy that you're going to be speaking and having your book there so that they can meet you and have a personal signed copy from you. So again, if you're interested, message me, get your early bird ticket today, and tomorrow are the only days that you get your early bird. After that, it's going to go up because today's price ain't tomorrow's price.
There you
Okay.
go. In the words of the philosopher of Fat Joe, yesterday's price is not today's price. And if you guys don't know who that is, just Google Fat Joe and yesterday's price is not today's price, and watch the passion that he has as he delivers that important speech.
Yes. And in any last minute, anything you want to tell the people, listen, we're going to have fun. This is the last thing I want to say. This is not going to be your traditional, like, boring conference. I have a Miami DJ that's going to be over there all day. Like, it's going to be music, dancing, 5 to 7 cocktails, like amazing networking.
Networking is important. And I'll just say, in this last point, then I'll have to go. But sometimes it only takes one connection. I'm just going to share a story. I knew people in the industry. I actually have 2 attorney friends who were in media. This was around the Trayvon Martin case, and I'm seeing them a lot. And they were like, "Alice, you can do it," but it just wasn't I couldn't find an angle into health. And that's when the state exchanges came in, and that's when I got my first real grab in media. But I remember going to a conference with them, the 3 of us. And actually, I'll say this: the 2 other ladies are very prominent people on television, which I won't say, but if you go to the conference, you'll find out the story. I go to the conference, and then there's this, they're talking about the Affordable Care Act and what's coming. And this is a journalist conference. So I stand up, someone says something on the panel, and I stand up and speak to, in a gentle, professional way, correct them and add to. And then as I said that, after literally after I sat down to answer the question, I had a swarm of journalists come to me. It's like, we need to talk, we need to connect, we need to do this. I want to talk, get your point on this story, this and that. One of those was a good friend of mine, Beverly White, who she's now retired after a long career at NBC. But I will say she was someone who became my mentor, brought me on board with NBC, and is now still a dear good friend of mine. So yeah. So people are like, how'd you get there? And like NBC, that's not just some little stuff. And so I was that's how you meet people. You got to be in places, okay?
Be in the room.
Zoom, and that's what we will do when we need to. But whenever there's a possibility to get in the room, you want to be in the room. So that's where
the deals happen. The relationships
in the room, over coffee, walking to a room, meeting in the elevator. I'm telling you, that's where the best deals happen. There you go. Make your money move.
Okay, love you. I know you got to run. Maybe we'll have you back again later in January, talk more about your book when you have more details, and you can, advertise your book and everything. So again, thank you, Alice. Again, for all of you, let me know, DM me if you're interested in the VIP night, March 7th. Nurses Making Money Moves. It's going to be downtown Tampa, March 8th, International Women's Day. You need to be there. Nurse Alice is going to be speaking along with other different guests. I'm also going to have a lot of different guests on as we go on into 2025. So again, thank you so much for your time. I appreciate you. Love you. And I can't wait to see you in Tampa.
Thanks for having me. Bye, everyone.